I think in the past few years, given the whole geopolitical situation, companies have been able to establish that kind of demarcation line to prevent that leakage of technology. So the systems are there, the processes are there, and the controls, not only by us, but by governments and other entities, do exist as well. So I think it's getting safer and safer to be able, in neutral areas like the UAE, for example, to be able to work with technologies without going over that demarcation line.
Indeed. And, you know, as we mentioned before, Trump is kicking off this major overseas visit to the UAE. Of course, he's visiting Qatar. He'll be in Riyadh as soon as next week. It signals a renewed strategic alignment to the Gulf. And as a major CEO, what do you want to see from that visit? Of course, the primary focus here is going to be on investment deals, but also this US-UAE investment corridor as well, worth more than $1 trillion. What can we expect to see?
Look, we have, I mean, there are many projects that are ongoing, not only with us, but with a lot of players in the region and in the UAE. Ourselves, we are very excited about the visit. We have a number of projects going on with Microsoft, with AWS, with Qualcomm. And again, we probably will be making some announcements in the coming week. So we're very excited.
So is the plan to scale up US tech partnerships as well? I understand you've just opened an office in Miami.
That is correct. I think that, you know, given that we are having state-of-the-art connectivity across the world, carrying internet traffic, and I think this is something that not many people know, that EAND is not only operating in the countries that we are, but we have a network of subsea cables that carry traffic across the world. And the office in Miami, in addition to one that we opened in Singapore late last year, offer our customers, which are big corporates in the US as well, access to that network of subsea cables.
So I think, as you say, a lot of people don't understand that EAN has been expanding internationally. What is the investment in the Americas today?
I think it's very difficult to say, put a number on that. But what we have is partnerships. For example, we announced a partnership with AWS that has a size of almost $1 billion. So this is a partnership where we grow the ecosystem for AWS, for cloud in the region, including training of people on how to use it, including transformation of companies to be cloud-based. So there are many things that we're doing. As a company, we are not doing investments per se in industry there. Other players are doing that. But we have these partnerships that, of course, will grow the ecosystem.
So you're not looking necessarily to compete with Tier 1 telcos stateside? We
have good partnerships there, but we are unlikely. The size of the operators in the US is too big for us to make let's say, an impactful investment.
Are you looking to build or buy data center assets in the US?
I think at the moment not. I think at the moment not. We're not.
But the primary focus for the data center business at the moment is regionally, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. How do you see that growing? Because there's also huge demand for compute in the Gulf today. And of course, if we see these chip curbs also easing up, then that means that demand is likely to increase. So is that an opportunity for you?
Look, at the moment, we are reviewing the strategy going forward. We have just made a very impactful exit from Hasna. We had a minority in Hasna, which is the leading data center player in the UAE, and that has had a great positive impact on our last quarter profit. And now, as we have done that, we are looking into what are we going to invest in the data center business. Of course, we still have a huge partnership with Hasna, using them for our customers and for our own use. We also have other partnerships, but we're now at the moment where we are reviewing what is the next step. And the technology in data centers has been evolving all the time. So we need always to take stock of what is there and where we will move to next.
Indeed. And you mentioned that $2.2 billion unlocking of new resources as a result of that exit. So what is the plan? M&A, infra? Is it going to be in AI? Is it going to be in shareholder returns? I mean, give me some insights into how you're going to spend the money.
I think all of the above, So as the money came in, the first thing we've done is we have prioritized bringing down our debts. So we have paid a lot of our short-term debts. And that allows us, of course, a lot of firepower to look again into how we can expand. As you know, also part of the results, so even if we remove the Hasna, impact on the last quarter, growth is 19% in both revenue and profit compared to the same quarter last year. And this is behind the expansion that we've had in Eastern Europe. Also, we're seeing some positive momentum from our investments in things like Kareem, in EN Money, in WeoBank. So a number of these investments that we have had as part of our tech strategy are generating now the returns. And going forward, we now need to see where we will go next. And it could be more telco, but also we are looking at other businesses that are in the vicinity of us. So adjacencies like fintech, entertainment, gaming, all these things are things that we continue to look at.
And that's what I think is most fascinating about your business as well, because as you and I have spoken about in the past, E&D has really transitioned from being that pure play telco business that it was a decade ago to being a diversified operation now with interest in a whole variety of sectors. If you get this right, what is E&D going to look like by 2030, for example?
I think E&D being close to the customers and have that trust allows us to be in multiple businesses that are technology related. So we're not going to go into, for example, real estate. It's not our business, but things that are technology related and touching the customer. And we're doing that in many, many ways. So other than telecoms, for example, as you might know, in several of the Emirates in the UAE, we have Hasantak, which is the fire alarm system, the national fire alarm system, for example, which is based on the Internet of Things and now starting to use AI to analyze alarms before they happen. We are developing solutions for fintech. We have EN Money, we have WeoBank, we have invested in Stars Play, which is an entertainment and streaming platform. So all things tech that touch the customers, I think we're going to be there, whether it's for their personal use and again for businesses, whether they're small businesses, large corporates, or even working with governments as well.
And the benefit of growing the business in this multifaceted direction means that you do open opportunities for other exits, like what you've just done with the data center business. As you evaluate the portfolio, are there other assets that could potentially be on the chopping block, or are you in growth mode right now? It's about building and buying.
Look, we're continuously reviewing the performance of our assets. So we are not, we say as a proper conglomerate, we are not really tied down by any of our businesses, but at the same time, now we have got to the point where all our businesses are performing. So we have done a lot of cleanup before we started the current strategy. So in fact, in my first 5 years in the company, between 2015 and 2020, we were doing a lot of cleanup. We've exited a lot of non-performing businesses. So even the recent exits is not because of performance. It's actually the opposite. It's because the opportunity was there. Example, Khazna is a great company performing very well, and it offered us a fantastic exit to be able to monetize and invest again. So now I think the focus is more on growth rather than exits.
Very interesting. Are you going to get any FaceTime with Trump when it comes to the UAE?
We're here. We're hoping that maybe some of the deals we're doing will end up being, announced in the presence. But still, if not, I think that visit is creating a lot of opportunity in the region.